Well, good evening, everyone. If you're catching this, this is a test run of doing live streams on Wednesday night, and we thought I would just jump on here and kind of put everything through the ringers and just see how it sets up. And I'm doing that right now, so bear with me. I'm gonna be kind of coming and going a little bit, but let me take a second here. I'm gonna Hey Charles, I am looking up right now just to make sure everything is live and going. Um, this is my first live stream, so we're just trying to uh, get it going and test everything out. I'm looking at putting together a live stream starting every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, talking about different leadership issues, different personal growth issues, and things like that. And I'm looking forward to building a community here um, with Trim the Wick and looking forward to meeting new people and hopefully working together with individuals to help move us forward. So, welcome. I see that we're live now. I'm on and everything's good to go. So, we're going to go ahead and just kind of do a test run here tonight. So if you're with me for the first time and you're watching this for the first time, welcome to Trim the Wick. My name is Dan James. I have a company called Trim the Wick and Leadership and Personal Development Solutions. And I have a goal and a purpose to help people and to hopefully create a community, is what I'm trying to do here, where people can encourage one another, learn from one another, build each other up, and also learn leadership skills and personal growth skills so that they can become all that they are created to be. My goal and my catchphrase that I like using is I want to help you be your best so you can give your best. And what that means is that I want you to be able to grow and to learn the things that you need to learn so that you can be your best. And then you can give your best when you are your best. And how that is and how you give your best might be in your business, it might be in your job, it might be at home with your family, or it just might be with you, re- um, reaching your personal goals. Maybe you have different things that you want to do this year, from reading so many books to bettering yourself in your health and getting healthier and being able to run a 5K or a marathon, whatever you want to do this year. The idea is that if you continue to develop yourself and grow yourself, that you will eventually, as you keep going, you become better and better, and you're being your best self. So the goal is to be your best self so that you can give your best self in everything that you do. So again, like I said, this is a test run, so we're just hoping that everything's working and everything's the audio is good, and I see the chat is up and running, and I'm excited about that. I don't know how I'm going to talk and chat at the same time, but you know what? It's a learning experience, and this is how growth happens. Is sometimes you got to just put yourself out there. Sometimes you got to just do and take your lumps, learn, and grow. Right? I believe failure is so much a part of growth. Failure is a part of learning and getting better. You won't get better unless you fail. which means you are trying things that you've never done before. So let's go ahead and, like I said, I wanted to do kind of like a mini live stream tonight, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So one of the things that I've been reading, and it's an amazing book, and I encourage everyone, if you haven't had the time to read this book, it is called Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. It is a fantastic book. I heard John speaking one time, and he said if he was going to write a biography of his life and who he was and what he wanted people to know about him, and the things that he believed in the most, it would be the book Intentional Living. And so I'm going through this book, and a bunch of things are jumping out at me. But one of the things that really just kind of started blowing me away is this idea of that, the road to good intentions doesn't leave you anywhere. The road to good intentions is an empty road and a blank road. And when you have just good intentions, you're not actually doing anything. You're not actually moving forward because there's no action behind it. And in this book, he actually has a little chart here that he does, where he talks about words of good intentions, words of internal learning, and a life that matters. And he has this nice chart that it's in the book, and he talks about that. If you have good intentions, that you're wishing for something. Well, instead of wishing for something, have purpose for that thing, and your life that matters is that it will give you fulfillment. So, this is an awesome thing. This is in the book, and I encourage you to read it. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a second. Um, uh, excuse me. It would give me a few seconds, and I'm looking at something, and Charles just wrote me something. He's like, "Do you know who I am?" You know what? I I have an idea of a young gentleman that I you would work with when I did youth ministry years and years ago, Charles. Um, and I don't know if that's you, but that's kind of who I've been thinking that it might be. Um, uh, but we'll go from there. Um, and I don't know. So we'll keep working that out. But let me get back to the teaching here real quick. One of the things that I think about a lot is that, um, if my life were to end today, would I have accomplished anything that mattered? And I'm really motivated to make sure that that is happening, that I actually am focused on something that matters. I want to live intentionally because I believe that I've been called. I believe that I have purpose and that I was created with purpose. So I'm really trying to focus on things that make a difference in my life, but also make the difference in others around me. So I am reading this book, and it's hitting me so hard. And in chapter 2, John mentions there's 7 benefits to intentional living, and I want to give you these, and I want to talk through them real quick, and just kind of highlight them real quick. It's these 7 benefits of intentional living. Number 1, intentional living gives us meaning to our life. And I do think that we live in a time, I believe that so many people out there right now don't have meaning. They don't understand really what their life is supposed to be. You hear a lot of this where people are just grasping at strings, where they're trying different things out. They don't know what their life is supposed to be. And I really think that to live your life with a purpose intentionally. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to find the exact meaning in your life right off the bat, but it's going to start opening the door to where you can find meaning. And I look at it this way: if you live intentionally, okay, th- hang on one second, I have an issue here. Sorry, I'm on a live stream. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's get back to what I was saying here. Um, Intentional eating gives you a meaning to life, and if you're living intentionally, in other words, everything you do, you find purpose and meaning in everything you do. It is going to give you meaning. It is going to give you purpose. It's going to continue to grow you to want to do more. Um, you know, Life stops being random. It starts becoming very purposeful. Certain things you start looking at and start observing, and then you start realizing, no, this is a good thing. I like doing this. I like helping people. I like moving people forward. I like doing these activities, and it starts giving you purpose and meaning. Um, it also answers that question that, why am I here? A lot of times people just go, why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? What why am I here? And as you continue to live intentionally, in other words, you're doing things because, I'm not just gonna go walk. I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna look at nature. I'm gonna look at things. I'm going to think about what I'm experiencing in my life, or I'm going to start pondering things that I want to address, and you start seeing more and more purpose and more meaning to your life. The second thing that intentional living does is it very much simplifies your life. And I got a story here. When my wife and I, early in our marriage, I was in the military, and I had due to circumstances of being a veteran and being through the Gulf War and stuff, they were allowing soldiers to get out early if they wanted to go to college and do that. So my wife and I had decided we were going to college. We were going to get out early, go to college. Well, right before I got out, we got orders to go to Germany. And I actually had to choose, do I want to go to Germany and stay in the military longer, or do I want to go and fulfill going to college and doing what my wife and I had already decided? Because we had already made that decision, because we had already intentionally gone, this is what we're going to do, that decision was made for me. It was easy. I didn't have to really think about it. I just signed off and said, nope, I'm getting out. I'm going to college. So when we're living intentionally, in other words, we put goals out there, and we start striving towards things to better ourselves and to make ourselves um, better. We It simplifies the things and the choices in our life, because it it all has a reason. So we're not grasping for, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do there? We're actually following a path that leads us to something else. So, number three things: intentional living helps us focus on life. Now, that's a great thing, because a lot of times we get so involved in business, we get so involved in doing other things, that we kind of miss the smell of the roses, stop and smell the roses. We kind of miss the things that are part of the journey if we're always just looking at the destination. So when we're living purposeful, when we're living an intentional life, it allows us to focus on our life, allows us to take in what we're dealing with and what we're going through on a simplified basis, and allows us to enjoy the moments instead of always being rushed to the next thing, the next thing. Um, you know, Focus turns our activities into progress. And again, it allows us to see what we're doing and take it step by step by step. Number four thing, intentional living motivates our lives. Okay. Think about it. If you don't want to get up in the morning, if you don't have a purpose or a meaning or anything, you don't get up in the morning. You don't shave. You don't take a shower. You don't. And that's what happens to a lot of people, is that when they lose motivation because they've lost their intention, they've lost their purpose, they've lost their goals, they have no motivation to do anything. And you've seen it with people where it's like they might start off strong, but because they didn't build the disciplines and all these things in, or they're not actually being intentional in how they're doing things, they slowly just kind of burn out and they slowly just snuff out. So it's important that intentional living and living, that we're focusing on something and that we're moving towards something, it motivates us. It gets us up and going. And I think about my wife a couple years ago. She ran a marathon, or ran a half marathon, and she's not a runner. She never really wanted to do long distance running, but what it was is that she was raising money for another family that had kids that were wanting to adopt some kids, um, from Russia, and or from somewhere in the east. Um, but they were wanting to adopt some kids, and they were raising money, and so it gave her a purpose. She was intent in what she was doing. She started practicing. She started going out and running all times of the day and night because it was working around her work schedule and the kids' schedule. And when you have intentional living, it motivates you. Okay. Purpose produces passion, and passion will then again continue to fire up that purpose. So it works together. The fifth thing intentional living does is it brings fulfillment. Now, I've talked a lot about in my small videos and my other things, and I talk a lot about when I talk to people about what is your success, because success is different for everyone else. Some people, they love to have millions of dollars, and to be successful is to have millions of dollars or to have the new car or the new house. Some people, success means that they are moving forward in their life, that they're growing, that their kids are well meaning and well grown adults. So, fulfillment comes in many different ways, but if you're living intentionally, if you're taking inventory of what you're doing, you're being motivated by your intentions, all of these things brings you fulfillment because you're going to start achieving goals. And I talked a lot about this on different things, is that a lot of times I set these goals that are huge goals that take 2 to 3 to 5 years to get to. And after 6 to 8 months, I was getting really frustrated and discouraged because I didn't feel like I was anywhere close to that goal. That was a 5 year goal. And what I'm learning is that if I break it up and I'm taking inventory of the little steps that I'm taking along the way to get to that 5 year goal, it gives me fulfillment. It gives me encouragement. It continues to build me up. This is what living intentionally does. If I'm living intentionally to reach that goal, all these little steps are going to continue to give me fulfillment. Um, you feel successful because you are becoming who you were meant to be, and that's a great fulfillment. Number six, intentional living maximizes your life. Can I just tell you that I have done things and gone to places and have been places and have walked in areas that I thought I'd never gone. And I have done things and sat with people and helped people through things that I would never imagine. And all because I'm living intentionally. I'm doing things intentionally. My wife and I, 8 years ago, 9 years ago now, went to Kenya, and we all of a sudden our hearts were just broken and burning to help the people there in the slums of Nairobi. And I've been able to walk the streets of a slum in Nairobi where it's so dangerous, and people are like, you should never do that. Even Kenyans, when I go over there, they're like, you walk in that slum? I go, yes, I can walk. And I talk to people and I pray for people and I encourage people. It has given me a life that is so much beyond, far beyond what I had even imagined. And that was living intently to go, I'm going to follow you, God, in this area of going to Kenya. And it is such an amazing thing. You multiply opportunities instead of wasting potential. When you are living intently, you you are always looking for the opportunity to do something more, to do something better, to do something greater, to keep going forward. And that is one of the things that I know for myself. Having this intentional living has maximized my life. Small daily disciplines create big lifetime results. And that is so true. That is so true. Sorry about that. Need a little bit of drink. Number seven, intentional living adds value to others. And this is one of the things that I have learned through my life. And I've worked for years and years helping other people and encouraging other people. And what I'm finding out is the joy and the pleasure of helping other people along. And as I'm intentional in my life, there are people who come alongside me and are helped and are encouraged and are built up because of what I'm doing in my intentional living. And this is something definitely for you. This is something where you can, if you're going to live intentionally, there are going to be people around you who are going to be benefited. It's just a part of it because as you are growing, as you're getting fulfillment, as you're motivating yourself, as all of these things and you're maximizing your life, people are going to be drawn to you and you're going to be able to encourage them, build them up, bless them, and help them out. There are so many good things, and I just want to hit all these things one more time. Seven benefits of intentional living: helps you give meaning to your life, simplifies your life, gives your life focus, it motivates you, gives you and brings you fulfillment, maximizes your life and what you're doing and who you are, and it adds value to other people. This is the thing of living an intentional life, of living a life of purposefully growing yourself, reaching out for goals, putting things in front of yourself, and being significant in this life. And you know what? Sometimes it's baby steps, sometimes it's huge leaps for mankind, but hopefully everyone will be able to jump into this idea of living an intentional life. That's all I have for you guys today. I love you all. I'm gonna chat back here with Charles, and I'm gonna be more of a now that I'm breaking away from the teaching part of it, and be more of just a live stream with some people that might I know. So let me do this here. So. But so guys, again, I'm hoping that this will be something that um, be able to do in the future. What I'm wanting to do is exactly this: is that um, do a live stream where I'm on and doing a quick little lesson, just doing something that's about 20 minutes long, but also chatting and talking with you and answering questions online, um, to hopefully help move you forward, hopefully give you gems of um, different things to help you move forward in your goals and in your intentional living. All right. Well, like I said, that's about all I've got for today. Again, this was a test, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, if you're watching this on the um, on a replay or whatever, like, subscribe, um, and let other folks know about this channel. I'd love to get this channel to the point where we're um, being able to use some more of the options here that YouTube has, as well as I'm also doing the videos and putting them on Rumble. And if you're wanting to be on there, and I'll also be doing some live streams on Rumble, which will be a little bit different. Um, and we're also going to be connecting our um, our oh, what is it? Well, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. So we got some other things in the work, and Charles, thank you so much, and appreciate you coming and hanging out on this first one. And I think you're doing a great job as well, from your comments, and thank you for the support that you give me, and I appreciate you so much. Guys, love you, and I'll see you again next week. But I'll see you again soon on my normal daily vlogs and the different things I'll be doing, shorts and vlogs for that. Got a lot coming up and some new ideas and some new things of some workshops in the future. And I'll be giving all of that on this YouTube channel. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Charles, thank you for listening for this. And love you guys. And I'll see you again next time. Okay, bye bye.